I'm sure you've heard the news: trade wars, economic slowdowns, endless talk about China's future. Every headline seems to ask the same question. Is China on the verge of a major turning point, or will it continue to power through adversity as it has for decades? The world is watching, and speculation is everywhere. But here's a thought. What if collapse doesn't come from outside, but from within? What if the real threat isn't foreign pressure or global markets, but something deeper, simmering beneath the surface of daily life? Sometimes, the most significant changes start quietly, almost invisibly, among ordinary people. Let's talk about political metabolism. Just like a living organism, a political system needs to process challenges, adapt, and renew itself. If it can't, it starts to break down from the inside, even if it looks strong on the outside. Let's rewind to 1911, when the Qing dynasty fell. The Wuchang Uprising wasn't a powerful explosion, it was more like the last straw. For years, the dynasty had been eroding, losing the confidence of its people and the loyalty of its officials. The uprising was the spark, but the fire had been smoldering for a long time. The real problem: the regime had hollowed itself out. Trust was gone, reforms were just for show, and leaders stopped listening. The government's connection to the people had frayed, and the institutions that once held society together were now empty shells. By the time soldiers mutinied, the system was already spent. The collapse wasn't sudden. It was the result of years of decay, denial, and missed opportunities to change course. Sound familiar? Fast forward to today. China isn't dealing with imperial decay, but it faces massive external pressure and a shaky economy. The challenges are different, but the underlying question is the same. Can the system adapt before it's too late? Youth unemployment is sky high, the real estate bubble has burst, and debt is piling up. For many young people, the promise of prosperity feels out of reach. The dream of upward mobility is fading, replaced by anxiety and frustration. The government's answer? More control, surveillance, strict messaging, crisis management from the top down. The state is tightening its grip, hoping to maintain order and project strength. But at what cost to its legitimacy? But here's the catch. Stability isn't the same as resilience. You can suppress dissent, but you can't fake trust. Real stability comes from a sense of shared purpose and mutual confidence, not just from silencing critics or controlling the narrative. When consent disappears, people check out quietly, turning cynical, opting out, or simply quietly defecting. They may not protest in the streets, but they withdraw their energy, their creativity, and their hope from the system. Pressure builds under the surface, discontent simmers, and the gap between rulers and ruled grows wider. The signs aren't always dramatic, but they're there. In the small acts of disengagement, the quiet frustrations, the sense that things aren't working. So, will there be another Wuchang? Maybe not as a dramatic revolt, but as a brittle order that snaps when it can't bend. Change might come not with a bang, but with a quiet, sudden shift, when the system's foundations give way all at once. History shows, the real risk isn't chaos, but a system that runs out of legitimacy before it runs out of power. When leaders lose the trust of their people, even the strongest institutions can crumble overnight. The big question isn't about revolution, it's about governance. Can China find new ways to share power, rebuild trust and adapt, before it's too late? The future depends on whether the system can open up, listen and evolve, or whether it will double down on control and risk repeating the mistakes of the past. Wuchang isn't just history, it's a warning, a reminder that legitimacy is the true foundation of power, and that ignoring the lessons of the past can make the future far more uncertain.